Hey there, clarinet nerds. Welcome to another episode of Ridenour Clarinet Products Presentations, helping you get a little more knowledge about the clarinet to help you be a better clarinet player. You know, one of the most frustrating things is this EB key, and you should be able to play the B on the left hand all by itself without having to slam and bang. And one of the major problems that causes you to feel the need to really crank down on there, or maybe you can't even play the B key over here without the right hand finger down. One of the major problems is the fact that these two keys here, these big fat guys here, that they don't coordinate, they don't close properly. Well, we're going to show you how to solve that problem without making things a lot worse, which is what a lot of people do. First thing we're going to do is look and see the things that we need, and it's going to be very, very simple actually. One of the first things you're going to need is a pair of scissors and some kind of needle, or even tweezers will do. Tweezers are probably better, but a little needle or a pin, you can get that anywhere. And there's something I'm sure clarinet players are not familiar with at all, but in case you don't know, you can pick this up almost at any store. And this is a leather punch, which you can get at any hobby store. One other thing, you're going to need some contact cement. Very common stuff. You can get this at most any hardware store. Try not to do much inhaling of it. And you do, and you'll also need some different kinds of paper. This happens to be a ticket to the Fort Worth Zoo that I have, and it's a fairly heavy cardstock. It's good to get a different collection of cardstocks so that you have all kinds of choice in terms of thickness, and I'll show you how to use all that stuff in the next video. The first thing you want to do is to see exactly which of these pads is not covering. And that means, and it's a very simple thing to do, you just press the B key down on the left side and press it. You don't have to press it hard at all. In fact, it's better if you don't press it hard. And then while you're pressing it down, touch this pad and see if it has a bounce in it, or see if it's not covering at all. It may have a little bouncy quality to it. Next, check this pad. If this pad is firm and this one bounces, then you're going to have to add some material underneath the B key to cause the FC key to close more. If the B key is bouncy, that's pretty easy to remedy. All you do is put your thumb under the crow's foot and press down gently on the B key and repeat that until finally the B key is nice and firm with the FC key. The one thing that you don't want to do is to begin bending keys up and down. Pressing down a little bit on a key is fine, but bending up and down on a key, see, and this one, you can't see this exactly, but this one is a little bit out. I can feel some bounce in that, and that means that in order to play the B key with this by itself, I really have to squeeze really hard. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'll show you how to fix that now. The first thing you want to do is check the pads and make sure that they're seating as they are, and that means taking a little bit of this very unfamiliar material and taking your scissors and cutting it into kind of a little wedge like this. Now I've got a feeler gauge, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check all around all the pads to make sure that they're sealing properly, and they should have pretty much the same drag in every corner. Check north, east, south, and west. Alright, that one seats extremely well. So now I know that both these pads are seated very well, and I can go in now to make my adjustment here. As we said, with this particular clarinet, we have a little problem here. There's a slight movement here, so whenever I push the B key down over here, this closes very firmly, and the B key closes very firmly, and the FC key does not. See, I can put there and see I get a nice little pull, and then over here I get nothing. So this FC key needs to be firmer. So I'm going to correct this, and in order to do that, I'm going to take my cardboard, and I'm going to take my leather punch and I'm going to punch out a hole. There we go. Now look what we've got. A little disc of paper. Next, I'm going to take my contact cement and I'm going to put a little dab of contact cement on the end of my needle and pick up my little disc. Next, I'm going to take the disc and I'm going to slip it between the crow's foot and the EB key. Now, I haven't put any glue on it yet. I'm just going to slip it there, okay? So now it's between the EB key, and now I'm going to press the B key down, and that's nice and firm now. You see that? That's better. And all I had to do, didn't have to bend any keys. All I had to do was just use this guy right here. I made one little bitty hole, and you can see, oops, this just fell out, but that's all right, because what we're going to do now that we found out that it works very well is we're going to install it permanently. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little contact cement right on one side of the disc. See if I can get it off my finger. Right there. And then I'm going to slide that guy right in there, right where I had it originally. That's it. And normally what you would do is you would put contact cement on both the key and the little disc and let them dry and then adhere them together. But in a case like this, you really don't have to. Just a very thin layer of the contact cement on one side of the paper. Drop it into the lever there, and between the lever and the crow's foot, and you got it made. There you go. See the disc there? Now, there's only one other thing, is that when you do that, then you might find that there's a little play in the C-sharp key, that the C-sharp key now doesn't exactly rest directly on the crow's foot, and it has a little play in it. That won't affect the C-sharp key working, but it'll affect your feel. So then you might want to take an even thinner piece of paper and cut a disc and put it under the C-sharp key to fill that gap that you created by adding the first disc. And then you've got it perfect, and it will last and last and last and last. I want you to know how much I appreciate you watching these videos, and I appreciate your questions. The segment we just had comes from a viewer who, again, was commonly frustrated with that piece of 16th, 17th century technology we call the crow's foot. And so I hope this is a good solution, especially for the person who asked the question. So thanks a lot for your questions, your inquiries, and please subscribe up there. Press that yellow button. I assume it's still yellow. I don't know. They keep making changes on YouTube. So, but anyway, press that subscribe button so you can get all our videos when they first come up. Visit our website if you have a chance. We've got some great instruments. We just recently sold a C clarinet to one of the finest clarinet players in the United States and one of the top orchestras. So I haven't talked to him about using his name or anything or sharing with people, so I can't do that. But anyway, that's a wonderful instrument, and lots of other stuff on the website and free educational information that will help you play better. In the meantime, I'll see you. Thanks for watching.